Ladies and gentlemen, I am Sassadon, the Grand Speaker, and today I'm gonna talk about a little pet peeve of mine: the general lack of decent dinosaur games overall. As a kid, dinosaurs were awesome. As a teen, dinosaurs are still quite awesome. Same goes with dragons. Dragons are like a dinosaur, only flying and full of fire. Regardless, that's a topic for another day. My point is that dinosaurs are very rare in media despite being popular with kids. But frankly, the amount of good dinosaur games can be counted on one hand. The amount of dinosaur games, though, there's quite many, but most of them unfortunately fall into the category of trailer trash and movie adaptations, because Jurassic Park, yes, was a very good, or should I say, is a very good trilogy of movies, where the first one is the most brilliant one, the second one was okay, and the third one was yeah, and then of course they made two more, like Jurassic World, and a sequel where the main character somehow survived being close encounter with lava. An impressive feat nonetheless. But I'm not here to pick on those movies, or the franchise in general. So here is the thing. I will now talk about. Should I say? No, not talk about. The thing is, when I grew up, I had the NES, the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, and eventually the PlayStation available. Due to friends and circumstance, the first one I really owned was the PlayStation, but still, I played a lot of these games at various occasions, and in recent years I retried them using means that they really hate you to talk about. Regardless, I recorded some gameplay, and as you can see here in the background, most of these games have several severe issues. One of them is that Jurassic Park is a game about people running from dinosaurs who is trying to eat them, and they have little or no resources because of a storm, kill everything, combined with corporate sabotage. But what do you do when you make a game for a console system? Oh, simple. You take all of these elements and just go. You give the player a gun, you place him in the middle of a desolate area filled with dinosaurs and devious traps, depending on the game, and then you jump around, push on blocks, and fall to an inevitable doom due to shoddy coding. A great old time, really. Nothing is more fun than going boink because something knocked you off the cliff. It increases replayability because you have to learn how to play the game properly without being handheld, they say. And I say pox on that. You know why? It's very simple. It's bad design. Has nothing to do with console generation. It's simply to do with the game designer themselves, and that most of these things were churned out at low budget at a frighteningly fast pace. One of these games, for example, is there are two side scrollers on the Sega Genesis, where you can either play as the Velociraptor or as Grant. This is great and all, except for a couple of grueling facts. One of them is that, well, essentially all you do is murder dinosaurs and traverse the level until you find exit. And they also sort of look like a bit like crap. They usually have some decent music and sound effects, but It just doesn't look very good. And the gameplay is very... seriously. The pinnacle of dinosaur survival. You run through this facility, you dodge some live wires and electricity, then you push a block onto an elevator, fight some couple of dinosaurs in the darkness, take the elevator up, push a block down, so you can reach another platform elsewhere, dodge more electricity, climb around a bit. And yeah, while this is slightly more claustrophobic and more in the theme of it, you know, survival and easiness, it's also unfortunately a bit boring because you know, side-scrolling doesn't quite add to the atmosphere in that way. Also doesn't help that it's very clunky. And the sequel, well, you can still play as Grant and the Velociraptor. Though it's a lot more action-packed, just as clumsy, and for some reason, you start off being in a birdcage, being flown up by a pterodactyl and dropped off at the top, where you have to fight entourage of humans and dinosaurs while dodging these damn birds. Jurassic Park. We bring dinosaurs back to life so we can murder them with a machine gun. Wonderful, isn't it? Yes, we bring them back so we can make them go extinct. The game throws you into action, is clunky, doesn't explain anything, and has horrible jumping physics. Well, I feel it okay. It's just slopes, you have to actually go and then you sort of die. Or take damage before you die because you get into a situation you cannot avoid. Then we have the one on Super Nintendo. At least one of them, there are several others, but I will cover mostly the side-scrolling ones. Though this doesn't quite count as a side-scroller, because it's a top-down run around and collect 99 dinosaur eggs in this world. Music is lovely at times, and then when you go into a building you have these very low frame rate, shoddy FPS sections where you are looking basically for a keycard and a battery and a computer to click on. Oh, and you also collect Velociraptor eggs. I do believe there's a Amiga part of this game as well, but the whole point is it's basically an open world where you do objectives and stumble around in the dark until you find whatever you need. It's not a bad idea, it's just very half-assed executed, and it has so much wasted potential. Also, it's very clumsy to control it. But the music, I quite enjoy it. And the second one is what's Jurassic Park 2, The Chaos Continues. It's one made by the shovelware company Ocean, I believe. Which means it's not that they make bad games, they just have a habit of making a lot of push it out the door and that's it game, based on different licenses. In this case, this is another side-scrolling Jurassic Park game, where you have dinosaur killing weapons and human killing weapons. Yes. And a very shoddy charge up and knockout. Animations are quite good. Music is also fairly decent. The difficulty level is through the roof, not impossible, just very annoying. And the game doesn't explain anything. What you essentially do is you walk to a spot, and then you will see an arrow and you click up. Then you will go to another screen. So you keep navigating those screens until you find where you're supposed to go, while fighting dinosaurs and a disturbing amount of humans, and every now and then a boss battle. But once you run out of lives, it's game over and you have to start all over again. Oh, and enemies respawn. At least a lot of them just respawn right outside the screen border. Just to be nice. Plus there's some level that has really stupid timers. As a case of, if it worked once, let's do it 3 more times in a row, or 4. And then there is this one on PlayStation 1. Guess what? It's another side-scroller with some good ideas. Some absolutely horribly annoying controls. And clunky, clumsy gameplay. For example, in this situation, I'm running from a whole lot of velociraptors, so I'm simply just diving till I reach the goal. It's not has many good ideas and concepts. It just isn't very fun to play, even though you can play as a Tyrannosaurus and a hunter and the female character, I forgot her name. Sarah, this is from the second game. Regardless, it's a shoddily coded platformer. There's also with good ideas but poor execution, like most of these games. It's also a licensed tie-in to Jurassic Park franchise. Then there is, of course, there's some good ones, but they are very rare and few and far between. For example, I haven't really played much of Project Genesis, but that's not I'm not here to talk about. I'm specifically talking about the action games. So as you can see here, the game is hard, clunky and clumsy. Oh, wait, I already said that. But the point is, it still stands. So, the next one is... since Jurassic Park games are fairly fun but also horrible, let's take a look at another franchise called Dino Crisis. It's sort of the Dinosaurs right, or at least a bit better, even if it has a clunky fixed camera angles, which really makes it hard. But at least it's a lot more fun, even if you're still just killing a stupid amount of dinosaurs in a plot that makes very little sense. So here's my proposal. The thing with the dinosaurs is that they're big, they are scary, they usually will eat you alive, and that itself is a very exploitable. Essentially, it's a hunt or be hunted. So I would really like to see it's an approach where you're actually trying to avoid, lure and trick the dinosaur. So it's sort of like a strategic survival game, which is more like hide and seek and outright just murder. Or a good game, what? Hunting dinosaurs, like a hunting simulator. I have seen a couple of these and tried them. The problem is those are usually just very bad hunting simulators in the first place. So it just becomes a slugfest. And that's not what I want. Because a dinosaur is a meat-eating, murderous monster that man was not meant to meet. So, that's what happens in all the movies. People get eaten because they are fighting dinosaurs with almost no tools whatsoever. And hell, even the ones who actually uses tools get eaten. So, yeah. Oh, and a couple of fools, like the dude who got spit in the face and then devoured in his car. The one who did some corporate sabotage. So, if you take Alien Isolation, for example, the whole idea is to hide and seek with the dinosaurs, no, with the aliens. And the goal is not to be found, while this thing is stalking you relentlessly through the corridors of whatever location it is. I would like to see something along the line of that with dinosaurs, really. Because the whole thing is that you are supposed to be prey. It's claustrophobic, it's scary. There's a lot of curling action, it has a mighty roar, sharp claws and fangs. And that's the fun of it, you know. Oh, and also seeing people getting brutally eaten and murdered. Like the one who sat on the toilet, when the toilet just went and he's like, ah, and then the dinosaur just go like, for example, that was awesome. Very silly, but still awesome. And that's the power of a dinosaur, right? So why do they always insist on giving a character a gun and then fight hordes of them? I'm not entirely sure why, but that's just my pet peeve with dinosaurs, and an idea for what I would like to see. And as a game designer, I always keep things like this in mind, because there's always a potential for a good idea once you start analyzing what works and doesn't work. Anyways, I'll see you later, and for now, I'm signing out, so like, follow and subscribe to me, links down below, and stay awesome.